So what does Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday have in common? Well, for one, this year they both fall on the same day, Wednesday, February 14th. They also both have a lot to do with hearts, and they have a lot more in common than you may realize or think. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Welcome to the Good Word. Hey everybody, welcome. Today I am here in our church kitchen. I am not baking anything. You don't really want me to bake. It's not my greatest strength. But I am getting ready for the Ash Wednesday service. Now every year we take the palms from the previous year's Palm Sunday and we burn them outside on the back lawn, you can see here. And we make them into ashes. This is what palm that didn't quite burn. And then I mix them with a little bit of oil. And I put them in here, and then at our Ash Wednesday service, we'll mark ourselves with ashes for Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday kicks off the season of Lent, 46 days of getting ready for Easter, basically. Now, Lent and Ash Wednesday, they're not things in the Bible per se, but the principle is there. Ash Wednesday is a time to humble ourselves. And Lent is a season to do some self-reflection, to do a spiritual tune-up, a life tune-up, to get some of the bad things out and bring some of the good things in. It's a great season of soul maintenance, if you'll let it be just that. So this year, Ash Wednesday and the beginning of Lent falls on Valentine's Day. And when I was first thinking about this, I thought, oh, what a clash of ideas, right? Valentine's Day with its flowers and its chocolate and wine and romance and food and candles and all that beautiful romantic side of love. And then Ash Wednesday with its starkness and its black and whiteness and its ashes. But I submit to you, and I really mean this, that if you see this in the right way, perhaps the best gift that you can give to your love this year is the gift of Ash Wednesday. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, not that there's not a good time to give flowers and wine and romance and all of those if you have a lover in your life. But Ash Wednesday brings us to some deeper soul and personal maintenance that actually will enhance and bless the quality of our relationships in so many ways. I have just one verse for us this week, and that comes from Jesus right after he washed his disciples' feet, from John 13, verse 34. A new command I give you, love each other. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. If Lent is a season of getting ourselves right, and we want to get ourselves right with God and show God that we love him, God says, well, the best way you can do that, my greatest command, the thing most important to me, is that you love each other. So our sin, our brokenness, our bad habits, they get in the way of our love. They taint it. There's a lot of you in relationships that say, you know what? Yes, I appreciate the flowers and the chocolates and the cards and all of that, but man, there are some deeper things that you could give me, that perhaps I could give you, that would mean a lot more, that would bless and celebrate our relationship a whole lot more. So this leads me to the 7 deadly sins. It's a great way to kind of sum up some things we can work on during Lent that will greatly benefit those we love in our lives. Now, the 7 deadly sins, they're a part of old church tradition, just like Lent and Ash Wednesday. They're not a list as such in the Bible, but they are in the Bible, all of them. And the beauty of the 7 deadly sins is they don't deal so much with the surface as they deal with the heart. And after all, on Valentine's Day and for Lent and Ash Wednesday, we're talking about the heart. They get to the core of things, just like Jesus did in the Sermon on the Mount. We're not just talking about murder, we're talking about anger that leads to murder. We're not just talking about adultery and affairs, we're talking about lust that leads to those things. So, here are the 7 deadly sins, and I'm going to look at them on a list on my phone, so I keep them in order. And there's no particular order, but the top of the 7 deadly sins is almost always pride. It's the deadliest of the deadly. Pride, anger, greed, lust, gluttony, envy, and sloth. So let's just take a quick look at these 7 deadly sins, which is a great thing for us to look at during the season of Lent as we consider our spiritual well-being. And it's a great thing for us to look at in terms of how these things are impacting our relationships with the ones we love. If we can get these under control and manage them well, it will greatly enhance our relationships and our ability to fulfill Jesus' great command to love one another. So pride. Pride is thinking more of yourself than of others. Jesus showed us the opposite of pride. He didn't sit as Lord and Master at the table waiting to be served. He served others. He washed feet, and he said, you need to do this for others as I have done for you. He set that prime example. When you squelch your pride, you say to your loved one, you're more important than I am. What you want is more important than what I want. I want to serve you. I don't want you to serve me. And in really good relationships, you're both serving each other, and it works out beautiful. So, during Lent, let's take a look at our pride, and let's see if we can't get that under control and learn humility. It will bless those we love. The second one, anger. Anger and wrath. Oh boy, how many times when we fly off the handle do we say mean things? Do we hurt people that we love? Our spouses, our children, our friends? If we can get our anger under control and learn to deal with that in more constructive ways, how wonderful that would be. Greed, lust, and gluttony, the next 3, they all kind of go together. They all have to do with good things that God is giving us and wanting us to take more than our fair share. God has given us the earth and everything in it to enjoy. And when we're greedy, we want more. And it goes to that pride too. It's all about us. And so we don't share with our loved ones. You ate all the cookies. You hogged it all for yourself. You did this. It's always about you. Greedy, greedy, greedy. You spent all the money on this. Now we can't do that. When we love one another, we resist greed and fulfilling all that appetite for things and stuff that we've got to have. Lust is a similar form of greed, right? Lust is, there's a beautiful place within those romantic relationships, within marriage, to enjoy our sexual desires, but it's out of control, and we live in a culture where it's so out of control. And if we can rein that in and resist those temptations and keep our desires only for our spouse, for our husband, for our wife, what a beautiful thing and healthy thing. And how obviously when we don't do that, we destroy marriages, we destroy relationships. Gluttony is a similar thing. God has given us food to enjoy. When we overindulge, it actually affects our relationships too. Not only did you eat all the popcorn or all the Girl Scout cookies and leave no leftovers, but it makes us self-indulgent. It makes us more prone to the other things that we can't resist when we aren't controlling our appetites. Greed and lust and gluttony are all appetites and all good things in the right place and in the right balance. And when they're out of control, they not only harm ourselves, but they also harm those we love. So then the last 2, which are envy and sloth, also affect our relationships. When we're envious of others, when we're green with envy, again, it's similar to greed. We're just obsessed with what other people have and we don't have. And it robs our energy. It robs our ability to appreciate what we have. Maybe you're envious of someone else's lover, of someone else's spouse, of someone else's kids or whoever, and you're not able to appreciate what God has given you. No one's perfect. Your mate isn't perfect. You're not perfect. But when we're envious, we're consumed and we can't appreciate, we can't be content with what we have. And sloth is just laziness. We often say when we confess our sins, even during Lent, Lord, forgive us for the things we've done, and forgive us for the things we've left undone. Think of all the things that we should be doing, all the ways we should be serving and expressing love and showing love to one another that we leave undone. So, this Wednesday, February 14th, this Ash Wednesday that begins the season of Lent, this Valentine's Day where we focus on those we love and who are most special in our lives, let's bring the 2 together. Let's begin this season of Lent. Let's humble ourselves. Let's do a little introspection. Let's see if we can clean up that pride and that anger and that lust and gluttony and greed and envy and sloth. And let's see if we can't become better people for the glory of God, because it surely pleases him. And so that we can be more able to truly express a love towards our lovers that is greater than chocolates, greater than candy, greater than anything else we could give. That's the good word. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to the season of Lent.